Hello and welcome to NASCAR Sprint Cup Series GarageCam presented by Mobile One here at Richmond International Raceway. And to start off the show, what a better way to kick off the show than with Michael McDowell. Michael, a little bit different look for your Chevy SS here this weekend. Tell us a little bit about Malwarebytes, who's on the side of the car.
Yeah, Malwarebytes. It's a new partner to Circle Sport Levine Family Racing this year. Kind of a crazy story. My crew chief, Dave Winston, got his computer hacked into, and they asked for a ransom, weren't sure what to do. So after we got through all that, found out that Malwarebytes is the #1 leading software protection for ransomware and malware. And it's a pretty cool story to have them come on board and help protect our race team and all the vital information.
Always cool to have new sponsors into the sport. Got a good-looking fire suit, but talk about the transition of this racetrack. It's hot right now. We got lucky last Friday at Darlington, I guess you could say. We didn't have the heat, but we did have a hurricane. But it's hot. We're going to be racing under the lights tomorrow night. What's that transition going to be like for you guys?
Yeah, it's tough. You're practicing during the day. The track doesn't have a lot of rubber yet. It's hot, it's slick, then you race in the evening. This track seems to continue to lose, speed and grip throughout the weekend. So, you're really just looking for the feel, the feel that you want in your race car, and you know that there's going to be a shift when it goes into the nighttime, but it's always the same thing. You're fighting turn middle and drive off here, so you just work on that throughout practice and try to get as close as you can.
Is it a special track here? Do you like Richmond? I mean, it's a short track, but you guys haul the mail around this place.
Yeah, it's a great mix of a short track and an intermediate. I mean, obviously the high banks here, the speeds are still up, but the tire fall off is there, so you lose 2 seconds throughout a run. Makes it for a lot of fun. Fan appreciation week too, so thankful to all the Richmond fans that are coming out, and without them we can't do this.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck in the race. And I don't think we introduced ourselves at the beginning of this thing. That was Michael McDowell. I introduced him.
Michael McDowell.
I'm Jonathan Merryman, and this is Charles Bush, a.k.a. Chuck Bush.
Yeah,
from NASCAR.com.
We're filling in for MD this weekend.
Dylan's on vacation, and of course, Richmond, a huge weekend here in the garage because the chase officially starts after the race tomorrow night.
One more race.
Federated Auto Parts 400 is the cutoff to make the chase. Couple storylines going on this weekend.
Just a few, and we might touch on them here in this garage as we're walking through. But Michael McDowell mentioned one thing about this weekend that's pretty big here at Richmond, and that is the fans.
Fan Appreciation Weekend.
Fan Appreciation Weekend. And so we're going to take this time and appreciate some of our GarageCam fans.
Give me the pole position.
That are in the chat, and first in chat is Louis D. Donato. I would like to see my favorite driver, Jeff Gordon, please. Well, we will get to Jeff Gordon, who is filling in this weekend for the 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr., and we'll get there. But right now we're looking at, I believe, the 27 of Paul Menard. Jonathan.
Paul Menard needs a win to make that chase field. A lot of hubbub around the RCR cars. Post Darlington, Ryan Newman, 15-point penalty, which takes him from 7 outside of that chase bubble to now 22 points outside of that chase bubble. If you're, not good at math like me but can do it, that's more than half the field he will have to pass. Realistically, will have to win as we take a look at Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s. Take a look at that back right quarter panel of the 17. Got into the wall a little bit. We left Darlington last week, but we're still collecting stripes.
Some drivers have been making a little bit of contact with the wall. I've seen some of it over there in turn 2.
Trying the high side.
Yeah, see what'll happen.
His teammate Trevor Bain right next to him.
We've already had practice, one session of practice already today. They're gearing up for the second session. Xfinity has already practiced. They were on the track early this morning at 8 o'clock. But it is a long, fast Friday here at Richmond International Raceway.
And it's a hot one.
And it is a hot one. I mean, I think the temperatures are, we were talking to Michael McDowell, I think the temperatures are going to be pushing his number here in a little bit, 95. So we're looking at the 16.
And all three of these Roush cars essentially need a win to get into the chase.
There's a lot of bubble talk, and is this a track where somebody like Greg Biffle could come in and get a win and win his way into the chase, Jonathan?
Anything is possible, and anything is possible with Greg Biffle. I mean, the Roush cars have been getting faster Richmond is a short track, which gives some of the teams who are maybe at a little bit of a disadvantage on the mile-and-a-half racetracks, gives them a little bit more of a shot. So a guy like Greg Biffle, who has years and years of experience driving these cars, why can't he get out there and win?
And in first practice, he was 16th fastest, so he
matches the car number.
That's the car number. Do you know who was fastest in that first practice this morning?
He probably likes M&Ms.
He does. It was Kyle Busch.
I like bacon, and I like Eric Almirola's number 43 Smithfield Ford Fusion, fueled by bacon on the back of that. I had some bacon this morning.
I did too. It was actually pretty good bacon this morning.
It gives me energy. It gives me energy for about 5 hours, then I need more bacon as we take a look at
I
Clint
see
Boyer's
what you did there.
5-hour energy.
You sly dog, you.
How about the 13 of Casey Mears? Back to the regular colors this weekend, but throwback weekend, in my opinion, the Smokey Unic paint scheme. Smokey Unic's probably one of my favorite car owners. Curtis Turner was a driver for Smokey Unic back in the day, and he was from Virginia. He was from Floyd, Virginia.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he would consider this a hometown race. Martinsville would probably be Curtis Turner's home track in today's NASCAR. But
if you're running in Virginia and you're from Virginia, you got to think that you're going to like a track in Virginia.
You got to have Virginia pride. We had some great barbecue yesterday.
We did,
Charles.
We did.
Charles is a big North Carolina barbecue fan, but
I'm a fan of barbecue from North Carolina, then Virginia, and then South Carolina in that order,
there you go,
respectively.
That was Landon Castle's number 38. MDS, they're hiring drivers is what it says on the roof of that car.
Are they?
Not for race cars.
Oh.
And here is another bubble driver. Even though Chris Buescher is in the chase, he's only got an 11-point cushion, so he needs to finish within 11 places of David Reagan tomorrow night to ensure that top 30 spot in points, which will lock him into the chase. But a lot of people are talking about that McMurray-Newman battle, but if something goes awry for this 34 team, that could be a huge storyline, and it would be a shame for him to have won Pocono, fall out of the top 30, and not make the chase. But you have to imagine that all hands are on deck on this 34 Ford for them to get in the chase. And the Cinderella story is always a great story.
Oh, and definitely. And they have been running well this whole season. They've had and you just hope for a guy like that, a rookie. It'd be good to see in the chase because that's not something that we see that often in this sport.
David Reagan with the Sweet Frog colors on the number 23 BK Racing Toyota.
We got a
frozen yogurt
driver sighting over there. It looks like he's texting or tweeting or something.
Should we go bother Regan Smith?
We could go bother Regan Smith.
Let's go.
Why don't you hop in there, Jonathan?
Let's go do that. Kogan, I'm going to squeeze by you real quick.
We've got Matt Kogan running the camera and holding the Live View backpack this weekend as you look at Jonathan Merryman walking over.
Regan is texting about his fantasy football. He's a Denver Broncos fan, Charles Busch.
I'm going to stay over here then. I'm not going to talk to him right now.
Did you watch the game last night? Because you know Chuck's a huge Panthers fan.
I don't know where Chuck is, but I did watch the game, and oh, there he is.
Hi.
I see him back there now. I did watch the game, and I thought it was an excellent game of professional football.
It was pretty close. Came down to that field goal at the end. But let's switch gears here to Richmond. What makes this track so special? It's a short track, but it's fast.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, this thing's really turned into a racetrack that you can run all over the place and do a lot of different things from the top to the bottom. And this tire that Goodyear's brought this year has really widened it out. So we've seen guys already starting to move up to the middle of the racetrack in practice, which is a good thing. I think that bodes well for tomorrow night, and it means you're going to see some cars on the bottom, some cars rim riding, and some guys in the middle of all that. So it's really a fun track, and like I said, if we can continue to soften this tire up and allow the cars to move around and slow down the pace as the run goes on, then we're going to keep seeing it just be exciting to race at.
All right, perfect. The words of wisdom from Regan Smith about how to get around Richmond International Raceway. We'll let him get back to his fantasy football texting here. I believe he's probably sending Chuck Busch a snarky text right this minute.
Yep, I got no comeback.
There you go.
Yep, I'm just gonna wallow in self-pity. But we got the number 44, Brian Scott, right there.
Shore Lodge and Safeway on that car this weekend.
And keeping in line with the thank you fans, fan appreciation stuff, Leah Bartlett, she's also in the chat, wants to see Casey Kane. Donald Corbin, woohoo, would like to see them Penske cars, please.
Them Penske cars are coming up.
They are coming up shortly. We'll see the Flying J, Michael Annette 46.
How about the 32 of Jeffrey Earnhardt? You want to talk about throwback last weekend?
Sweet, sweet mustache.
Oh, he looked exactly like his grandfather, in my opinion. It was eerie.
Eerily similar. Yeah, it's funny how genetics work, you know?
Down to the grin.
You know?
But, of course, he had the Wrangler jeans-themed Corvette Parts.net Ford last weekend at Darlington. Pretty cool to see.
Taylor USA, I love NASCAR GarageCam. That's my TV show. This is my shout-out to those who love NASCAR racing. I'm at school. I love pizza at school.
There you go.
There you go. I love pizza, too. Although, I don't know. School pizza, though. That's a tough one.
Well, it's better than a lot of other things.
Well,
Chicken nuggets
but
at school.
it depends. Is it that rectangular pan pizza, or is it like pizza from somewhere? Because I know in high school we had pizza shipped in from an actual pizza restaurant.
Well, I didn't go to school in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we had to eat Funky Square pizza.
Funky Square pizza.
All right, so let's walk around here. Let's cut through this inspection area and get to the other side of the garage and bring you guys more Sprint Cup Series goodness.
Indeed.
Feels great in the shade.
I think we're just going to do the rest of the show from the shade, you know. We'll just look at AJ Allmendinger's car for the rest of the time. You guys cool with that?
There's a lot of stickers on there. Vienna sausages on the back.
Ooh, Vienna sausages? You ever have some of them with some saltine crackers?
No, I don't eat that.
Oh, why not, man? That's a good lunch right there, I tell you.
And here's a semi-Penske car. For
Semi-Penske, the 21.
21,
Ryan
Wood
Blaney.
Brothers Ford of Ryan Blaney. A little bit of a different paint scheme, out of the norm for the Wood Brothers, but they went so traditional last week. We'll let them get away with it.
Well, Jennifer Sloan White would like to see the 21 of Ryan Blaney. Well, there you go, Jennifer. Thank you for tuning in to NASCAR GarageCam here on NASCAR.com.
It's a slick-looking ride, though.
It is. I like that blue and the white. Blue and the white, that's a good color scheme, if you ask me.
Code 3 Associates number 14 of Tony Stewart. He won in a car with this paint scheme at Sonoma this year.
He did.
Maybe it'll bring more good luck.
He's also won at Richmond, I think. You know, I mean, maybe.
Check out the helmet.
Was there a significant win that he had here at Richmond?
Check out the helmet, a throwback to Joe Gibbs Racing, a tribute to Coach. That is cool, flat out.
That's been one of the coolest parts about this season for Tony Stewart is seeing each week what the helmet is going to be. And it's cool to me.
There's a quote on the helmet that says, "The right man comes at the right time." Certainly they found each other at the right time, which Tony's first win came here.
I was trying to tee you up for that earlier, and you went helmet first. But
it all makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It's cool. It gives you cold chills. It's 100 degrees outside, and it's, you know.
There are no cold chills right now.
Ah, well.
That's just sweat. That's all sweat.
Casey Kane, a lot of people think he might be able to get it done this weekend and make his way into the chase. You remember a couple of years ago that he squeaked one in at the last minute, winning at Atlanta to make the chase. Can he do it again?
He was fourth fastest in that first practice, so, you know, strong chance you might see that 5 get a win.
And if we look at the back quarter panel of the 88 here that Jeff Gordon's driving in relief of Dale Earnhardt Jr., the back quarter panel of this thing is scuffed up. This is what I like to see at a racetrack. It's hot. It's slick. I know it may not be that way. Look, it's Miss Sprint Cup.
Well, you got a Miss Sprint Cup messing with our Sprint tablet here on NASCAR.com. How you doing?
I'm good. I was just trying to give you some social media tips, you know. Well, make sure that you follow at Miss Sprint Cup on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
I don't know if a black fire suit was appropriate to wear today because it's scorching outside.
It's absolutely appropriate. It's Fan Appreciation Weekend. We are thanking the fans this weekend and thanking people at Sprint stores all day tomorrow. So if you're a Sprint customer or not, stop by. But we're having fun, minus it being really hot.
It is
I'm
hot.
sweating too, so.
Yeah. You hide it well.
Thank you.
I'm not. And
I
Merryman's
try.
not either.
I mean, if you touched my neck, you would feel it. But I don't want you to do that.
Yeah, I'm going to pass.
Sorry.
You know, I'm going to pass because it's way too hot for that.
Vacated.
So, Merryman left. But make sure you follow at Miss Sprint Cup on all the social media channels, because they're giving you, while we're giving you this inside look, they're giving you a behind-the-scenes look as well.
That's right. We always bring the party.
Boom. Bringing the party here on NASCAR.com.
And as we were talking about, Chuck Bush, loose race cars making contact with that right rear quarter panel is something that that fans want to see. The lower downforce package this year certainly helps that. And one guy who's used to scraping the wall in a good way because he runs the high line is the 42 of Kyle Larson in the Target Chevrolet this weekend.
Hey, fun fact, we're now halfway through this
Halfway.
episode of GarageCam, thanks to Sean Brown up in the truck, keeping us running here, keeping us on point and on task as we look at the 31 of Ryan Newman. A lot of news this week, Jonathan.
Well,
a lot of news.
And it goes deeper than just this week. I don't know the specific race, but these guys were fined 10 points earlier in the year, and you compound that with the 15 points that they lost. That's a total of 25 points. They're 22 points outside of that chase bubble. So people who think that these small penalties at the beginning of the year, 10 points is a big deal when we get to Richmond. We see it here. If he hadn't been penalized those 2 times, he would be inside of the chase bubble. And if he hadn't got penalized post Darlington, he would be 7 points back, and we'd have a really, really good race for it. But Ryan Newman's probably got to go out and win this thing, or hope that Jamie McMurray has a little bit of bad luck and Newman runs really well. But they're ironically parked next to each other, as Jamie McMurray's right next door with a little bit different paint scheme this weekend.
Is it ironic?
Is it? You tell me.
Just, don't they line them up via points?
Owner's points.
Owner's points.
There you go.
Yeah.
Charles.
It's hot.
The
My brain's not working.
The number 3 RCR Dow Chevrolet of Austin Dillon. Not a bad looking ride. I'm fond of the red, black, and white. Those were my high school colors.
Oh.
Rustburg High School. I went to high school in Virginia.
I thought your high school colors would have just been like a deep red. Kind of like the I-beam in the garage there.
Why? What gives you
like,
that?
Like a rust color?
Oh, no.
Rust red?
That's what color the dirt is. Austin Dillon parked next to Jimmy Johnson in the Lowe's Pro Services number 48 Chevy.
Speaking of Virginia, Virginia Wright says, hi, Chuck, but not hi, Jonathan.
Well,
as we look at the 48 of Jimmy Johnson.
She doesn't know what she's missing, Charles. So, Rick Hendrick, Jimmy Johnson's car owner, is from Virginia. There you go.
Cool, yeah.
Let's tie that all in together.
Thomas Jefferson was from Virginia, too. He also started a school here, I think.
We don't
Merryman
talk about
really
that
likes.
No. It's not Virginia Tech.
Nope, it's not. But we got the American Red Cross, and everybody loves America.
Well, the Red Cross also does a lot of good, and they're the primary sponsor on this 24 machine of Chase Elliott. How do you feel about this thing, Charles? It's not the Napa blue that we're used to seeing.
I like it. Like, just looking at it, seeing it on track earlier today, I like those colors. It's a unique.
It's Christmassy.
Yeah,
but it's
fun.
not a bad
It's
thing.
fun.
That's
It
for
is
sure.
not a bad thing.
The Red Cross on the side of that car. He's parked next to Matt Kenseth in the Dollar General.
The
Joe Gibbs
defending
Racing
winner
Tournament.
of the fall race here last year.
He did.
Matt Kenseth.
You know, last year I feel like there was a lot more pressure on this number 20 team. And take a look at the number on this car.
Which one?
They're
On
running
the 20?
They're running silver numbers. It's Joe Gibbs Racing's 25th anniversary this year. So
That's the silver anniversary.
they're changing it up. They're running the silver numbers on the door and on the top of the car. So it's pretty cool.
Next to that, we got the 78, Martin Truex Jr., last week's winner at Darlington.
Yet another sponsor on the hood. Now, we're so used to seeing the 78 having Furniture Row on that thing, but it's not bad. Not a bad looking Tanger Outlets.
Got about.
And look who we ran into. It's Martin Truex Jr. First off, congratulations. 2 Crown Jewel events, your first multi-Sprint Cup season. Well, first multi-win Sprint Cup season, if I can get that out. So has it sunk in winning 2 Crown Jewel events? I mean, the Southern 500's, top 3 in the sport.
Yeah, it's sunk in. It's been a good week. A lot of fun to hear all the fan reactions and just hang out with my guys and talk about it and just we had 4 days to celebrate. Now it's time to get back to work. So had a good first practice here so far. I got Tanger outlets on the car for the first time and excited about that. So hopefully we'll keep the thing rolling here.
How big would it be to back up that Southern 500 win with a win in the Federated Auto Parts 400 and kick the chase off, with a bang?
Well, this would be an awesome place to win. It's a place that's been, kind of up and down for me throughout my career. It's been a little bit of a struggle at times for us in the past 2 years. So I thought we had a first practice I thought went really well and made some big gains I felt like from last time we were here. So see what we can do and we'll keep fighting and keep digging and hopefully the only one you got to lead is lap 400, so hopefully we can get it done. All
righty, words of wisdom right there. That's inspirational. All you have to lead is lap 400.
Most important lap. You got about less than 10 minutes, 9 minutes left, and drivers are starting to make their way out to their cars.
That's right.
Kyle Busch walking in.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about Martin Truex Jr. A lot of people saying he's a dark horse to win the title. But that team is performing so well. Can you really call him a dark horse?
And I was going to say, if you have 2 wins in a season, if you're a multi-race winner in a season, are you really a dark horse?
I don't think so. That team is running out of their minds right now. And, they seem to have corrected those issues on pit road. And
hey, guess what, though? Virginia Wright says, yes, I do. Hey, JM.
There you go.
You got that.
She knows what's up.
Also got another shout out here. DRL 14 fan. Virginia is for NASCAR lovers.
There you go.
I see what you did there. I like it. So we are looking at the 18 M&M's Toyota.
Fastest in first practice.
Kyle Busch, that race in the spring, man. Between him and Carl Edwards.
Yeah.
Carl Edwards in the media center saying I think he knows what to expect if they're battling side by side.
Well, that's how racing should be. I mean, we have bumpers and fenders on these things for a reason. You didn't wreck the guy. Finished second. No harm, no foul, in my opinion. You were faster. You moved him out of the way, and you passed him cleanly. Mm-hmm. Teammates. Now, Kyle Busch is a competitor. Kyle Busch did not like that. But if I'm Kyle Busch's car owner, I don't want Kyle Busch to be okay with second place.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, there's a difference between not liking something and respecting the move as a racer.
The Busch brothers parked next to each other. And they didn't do that alphabetically, Chuck. It's owner's points.
I wasn't going alphabetical earlier. I was going off of points.
And Busch is next to Hamlin. The FedEx Ground Toyota Camry. So the green accents on this one.
My tee-ups to you in this garage cam have fallen flat.
It's
been tough.
It's a fun show.
We haven't done one of these in a while, so.
The last time, we did one in Daytona, I think.
Yeah, well, that was a while ago. And we had Dillner there, too. Looking at the 11 still, and hard next to him, we got the 19, Carl Edwards. What do you think of this paint scheme?
I like it. It needs a little maroon with the orange, though. But I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, Carl Edwards. We talked about the bump and run a little bit earlier with Kyle Busch. Carl's got 2 wins this year, Bristol and Richmond here in the spring. Those JGR Toyotas are fast.
They're
about
all right there in that top 10.
Well, there's a reason why they're parked on this side of the garage. I mean, when you're fast every week, you're bound to rack up the points and be up there in the standings. As we take a look at the Penske cars,
had some requests for those Penske cars earlier. Here they are.
The 22 and the 2
rolling out.
Now take a look at the tire pressures on these things. They run the tire pressures here super low, especially on the left sides. The right sides are pretty inflated. If we take a look at Carl Edwards pulling out here, take a look at that right front tire. You see it wrinkling? They run the tire pressure so low here because the tires get hot. When the tire gets hot, the air pressure in the tire goes up.
They don't have backup noises.
No, they
Just
don't.
got to keep your head on the swivel here in the garage as these cars are backing in, getting ready to roll out in about 5 minutes for the second and final Cup practice. We're gonna qualify them later today. It is Fast Friday. We've got Xfinity Series qualifying around 4:15. Cup around 5:45. Pre-race for the Xfinity race starts tonight at 7, and the race kicks off at 7:30. It's a long, fun, action-packed, speed-filled day here in Richmond.
It is, and to be honest with you, Chuck, I like the two-day shows here. You know, Xfinity, you know, they're off the truck today, they're practicing, and they line up, they qualify, and then they race later tonight. It's kind of old school. You know, we went throwback last weekend at Darlington, but the one-day shows like that are pretty cool.
You know, just going back to the heat for a minute, our tablet just overheated, and
We'll have to talk to Miss Sprint Cup about that. But speaking of hot, Kevin Harvick was hot after the race last weekend.
when you're hot, you're hot.
He was hot.
Looking at Brad Keselowski walking up to his Miller Lite Ford.
He's all business right now.
I like that paint scheme last week and just said light beer.
Now, Brad probably has one of the smartest paint schemes for days like today, as opposed to maybe Denny Hamlin, who's got a black car,
Fire
pretty
suit.
hot, black fire suit. Keselowski can just
He looks
just
pretty.
relax.
Yeah, he looks pretty cool right
He can
now.
just hang out
Yeah.
in his white fire suit and not conduct as much heat.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile,
we are conducting a lot of heat
yeah.
and expounding a lot of hot air.
Now Kevin Harvick's pretty good here at Richmond as well.
He is. He is. Driving that freaky fast number 4 Chevrolet Jimmy Jones.
Jimmy John's on the hood.
It's getting to be about lunchtime.
It is.
It wouldn't be a garage game if we didn't talk about food in honor of Dillner.
So, Chuck, while we have a couple extra minutes here at the end, since we've made it through the garage, this
have.
garage area is very small. It is a short track, so it doesn't take a lot of time to walk through here. Who do you think's going to win this thing tomorrow night?
My money, that's a tough one. But I think
Give me a winner and a dark horse.
winner. We're going to go Kyle Busch. Winner.
That's
Dark
solid.
horse, Brad Keselowski.
Dark horse Keselowski? It's a Penske car. I'm going to go with
It's because it's a lighter car.
Chase Elliott is going to be my dark horse pick.
Here goes
I think
cars.
Martin Truex Jr. might get this done.
We're looking at Kevin Harvick getting ready to climb in here as other cars are rolling out for practice. You can hear that noise. These engines firing up, getting ready to go for their final practice here at Richmond International Raceway. Jonathan, you got any closing thoughts as we get ready to wrap up this episode of GarageCam?
No, be sure to watch the race tonight. Tune in 7:30 tomorrow night on NBCSN. Chase cutoff race, hugely important. Can't stress that enough. There's several storylines to watch, but the main thing is going to be who's going to win this race and put themselves in position to make a charge here early on in the 2016 chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup.
It is hard to believe that we just have one race left until we're to the chase. This year has flown by, and we're getting ready to see some exciting racing here in the fall as the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup heats up. For everybody here at NASCAR.com, for Jonathan Merryman, for CJ Latirzo, for Matt Cogan, for Sean Brown back up in the truck, everybody back in the office, I'm Chuck Bush reminding y'all to do what Dillner says, and we'll see you at the races.